There's a man standing in a service bay right now. Coffee's free, chairs are leather, TV's on mute, and in his hand is a repair estimate for a taillight. A taillight. A piece of plastic on the back of his truck. He backed into something in his driveway, cracked the lens. That's it. That's his whole crime. And the number on that paper has a comma in it. He reads it twice and looks around the room to see if somebody's filming him because it's that ridiculous. Owner after owner have posted online their quotes. 1,500, 2,300, $3,000. And on the new electric half tons, one man posted a dealer's estimate north of $5,000 for a tail light. And you know what this man does next? Not what he should have done. He doesn't throw the keys at the guy who sold the thing to him 3 months ago. No. He just pays it. Sits back in that leather chair with that go along to get along contemptuous smile on his face. Looks right at the girl in the polo shirt, you know, the one that runs the bullpen full of suburbanites. And he pulls out his phone, setting up a parlay through the gambling app he's got on the Colts for the weekend, praying that bet hits so he can cover a piece of plastic he never expected to pay for. That's the man who handed over his, well, we'll call them tools, to be polite. And tonight, I'm going to show you how they trained him to do it. That's the video tonight. Not the taillight, the nod. Why does a grown man, a man who makes his own damn money, read a $5,000 quote for a piece of plastic and just obey? Because somewhere in the last 10 years, somebody trained him to. And tonight, I'm going to show you the brainwashing, the nut-crunching receipt by receipt. This is part one of a 4-part series I'm calling the You Own It Zone, because there is a window of trucks, specific years and specific engines where none of what I'm about to show you exists. By part 4, I'm handing you the list. So hit subscribe now, because the list is the payoff, and you don't want to catch part 2 and part 3 second-handed. Let's go look at what exactly is inside that tail light. So why does a tail light cost what a transmission used to? Because it's not a tail light anymore. That's a radar station living inside that plastic son of a gun. Blind spot monitor, cross traffic detection. The module sits right there in the housing, one crack away from a little bit of moisture killing it. Owners crack the lens, water gets in, and now it's not a broken light, it's a busted computer. And here's the part they don't put on the commercials. You can't just bolt in a new one. The module has to be programmed to the truck, married to it. And guess who has the marriage license? That's right, the dealer. So even when a man finds a part himself, and they are out there at salvage yards and online and such, the truck won't accept it until it's been blessed. He can turn every wrench right and the truck will still sit there throwing faults at him like he's some sort of stranger. His own truck that he's paying for, treating him like a trespasser. Now watch what that does to a man over 10 years. First time he's pissed. Second time he's annoyed. By the 5th time, he's got the service department number on his favorites list on his phone. They don't beat him in one fight. They housebreak his ass like a puppy, one dirty rug at a time. And look at where they've got him waiting. Leather chairs, espresso machines, a nice lady with a tablet who calls him by his first name. That's not a repair shop, fellas. That's the same waiting room where the old rich lady goes with the German sedan. They took the working man's truck and put it on the same leash as a luxury car. And then they made the leash comfortable, because a comfortable leash is the only kind a man will pay for. They didn't take his self-reliance. Let's be honest about that. He handed it over, one nod at a time. Now let me show you where this actually ends, because it doesn't end in the service center with free bad coffee. Here's the same man right now on a 2-lane in the middle of nowhere. Sun's been down for about an hour. Wife's in the passenger seat. Kids are asleep in the back, and the dash lights up like a slot machine. And that $100,000 machine pulls itself over, limp mode. The truck decided, not him. So he does the thing men have been doing for 100 years. He pops the hood, and he starts staring at a plastic cover, a beauty panel, if you will, like the engine was out of a Ferrari, because everything is a costume these days, right? And underneath it, a computer wrapped in sensors, wrapped in software he is legally and physically locked out of. You know, his grandfather got a family home off the shoulder with a set of pliers and some duct tape. This man can't do one single thing except get back in his cab, lock his little door, and pray his phone has bars. Take that in. He paid 6 figures to become useless to his own family at the exact moment they need him most. That's not an inconvenience, guys. That's what it looks like when a man's been conditioned all the way down. The truck was supposed to be the tool that made him capable of anything. They turned it into the thing that proves he can't do a damn thing. And I want to be straight, because blind spot monitoring saves fenders, I'm sure, and probably even saves lives. The sensor itself was never the crime. The crime is welding a good sensor into a $60 piece of plastic, locking the repair behind a service counter, and calling that safety. Guys, that's not safety. That's a hostage with an airbag. Now, here's a fascinating byproduct of our current situation. There's one group of men in this country who understand exactly what that tailgate is worth. They read the market perfectly. They did the research our man never did. The thieves. They've got crews working parking lots and driveways right now. And this is documented. Owners posting it with photos. Who pop the tailgate panel, reach the release cable, drop the gate, and pull both taillights off a late model truck in about the same amount of time it takes me to describe it. 4 bolts, one side. One owner in Texas woke up to wires hanging out the back of his truck and a dealer bill he reported at north of $6,000 parts and labor for taillights. Now, think about what that means. The burglars know your truck better than you do. They studied it. They practiced. They found out where the money is hiding on that thing, while the man who signed for it was watching the big flat screen and the birthday cake center console. The criminal showed more curiosity about the truck than the customer did. And why is a tail light worth stealing at all? Because millions of men keep nodding at those dealer quotes. Every man who pays $5,000 without blinking sets the street price. The obedient customer funds the black market. The thieves aren't the disease, fellas. The thieves are the fever, the read on the thermometer, so to speak. Your grandfather's taillight was worth all of $4, and nobody in history ever stole one. Think about which one of those trucks was designed for the working man. Go ahead, I'll wait, while you explain inflation to me yet again. All right, so here's the reframe, and I want every man still watching to hear this part with both ears. None of this is a law of nature. Trucks were not always like this. There is a window, a stretch of model years, specific trucks, specific engines. The tail light was just a tail light, where the part doesn't need a priest to bless it, where a man on a shoulder at night had options instead of a phone and a prayer. I call it the you own it zone, and it's closing every year. More of these trucks rust out or get crushed out, get bought up by men who already figured this out. The window doesn't stay open because you want it to. So here's the series, part 2. How the trap got built. The years they sold you convenience and called it progress. 2008 to roughly 2015. Part 3. The last of the real workhorses and why they stopped building them on purpose. And then part 4. The list, model years, engines, the exact trucks to go hunt while they're still hunting to be done. That's not nostalgia, guys. That's a shopping list for free men. Because the exit was never learning to love the leash. The exit is a truck that doesn't have one at all. A truck that starts for you, gets fixed by you, and doesn't ask a server in another freaking state for permission. Every year you run on your own truck is a year they don't get a payment. A programming fee or a nod, let's say. Next video, we go back to where the trap was set. When they put a touch screen where the radio knobs used to be, and every man in America said, "Oh, thank you very much." Remember that? Feeling any regret yet? I'm the Highwayman, and I'll see you at the next exit.